In this video, I will give you some short and long-term strategies to overcoming stage fright. My name is Elyott Ryan. I've been doing comedy, stand-up comedy for 6 years now. But when I first started, I had terrible, debilitating stage fright. It was crazy. My first set, my legs shook together so hard that it was audible. You could audibly hear my knees rattling. And it's not good when your first heckler is your own legs. But I've come a long way because I knew starting comedy I could write a joke. I knew I could learn how to write a joke. But I knew that if I couldn't overcome my stage, if I couldn't become confident on stage and gain some stage presence, that nobody would ever laugh at me. You know, you don't want to laugh at somebody that you think might faint on stage or have a panic attack. Panic attack was my go-to for the first 2 years of comedy. I've spent years trying to overcome my stage fright, and now I just want to try to pass on some of that knowledge to you. Maybe you're doing a presentation at work, maybe you want to, do some comedy, maybe you want to do improv, I don't know what you want to do, but hopefully, the information I have will help you. I'm going to break down some of my advice between long and short term, because I feel like if you want to really overcome your stage fright, it takes a long time. There are strategies that will work somewhat immediately, but I think it's something that you need to keep hammering at. You need to keep working at. And eventually, I think anybody can get over stage fright. Here are some short-term strategies for overcoming stage fright. First, there's breathing. If I'm performing and I have a lot of anxiety before that performance, what I will sometimes do is some nose breathing. What you do is you breathe in for 6 seconds, and then you breathe out for 6 seconds. And you do that 6 times. 6, 6, 6. So devil's breathing. But somehow it calms you down. The devil knows how to calm you down. Another strategy is a Wim Hof breathing method. You can Google it, Wim Hof. But I can basically explain it to you. What you do is you take 30 inhalations, and you let out just a little bit after each inhalation. Just naturally. You don't want to push the air out, but you just let it out naturally. And you take another deep breath, as deep as you can go, and you let it out a little bit. And you take 30 deep breaths, letting it out a little bit each time, and then at the end of the 30 breaths, you hold it for as long as you can. And then after you've held it, you take one more deep breath, and you hold it for another 15 seconds. After the 15 seconds, you breathe normally for a bit, and you do that 3 times. And that will bring mental clarity, it'll bring focus, and it will eliminate anxiety. It's really, really effective. Do you think a Buddhist monk would ever be scared of talking in front of strangers? No, because they've mastered breathing. They've mastered how to calm down their own body. Next strategy is shaking out your limbs, getting your body moving. You hold a lot of tension in your body, and it's important to move. So I like to shake. I don't know, like some people can think you're weird, because sometimes I shadow box. I don't do that every time, but if I'm really nervous, I want my limbs need to move. It helps circulate blood. It helps calm you down. It helps release some of that tension. I think it really helps. Even if you have the space and you're alone, you have some alone space, you can just do some push-ups. Do like 5 push-ups, and it definitely helps. Get moving. Get moving. Listen to some music. Get some pump-up music. Get moving. Another thing to think about is memorization. Are you memorizing what you have to say properly? Because if you can memorize, if you know you've memorized what you want to say, you're going to be way more confident. So the best way I've found to memorize is I'll have 1 or 2 trigger words. And I read those words. You can have them on a cue card. You can have them on like a piece of paper. But all you need is those trigger words, and that whole sentence comes straight to your mind. That's what you want. It can take some practice, but it's important that when you're memorizing without looking at the page. You need to be able to speak the entire sentence pretty much blindfolded. You need to be able to say it. That's how confident you need to be able to say it. And that can take time to work on those memorization skills. But that's what you should be doing. And it should be the day before. You never want to try to memorize your speech the day of. Because your anxiety is through the roof And that's when your memorization is at its worst. Don't even cram. Half an hour before you're supposed to perform, there's no point in cramming. If your anxiety is high, then you can't memorize anything. And it's better to work on staying grounded, doing breathing, getting yourself confident. Because confidence is going to be half the battle. You don't need to memorize it if you can, you just bullshit your way through it. Another way to boost your confidence is to have like a motto. Something that just like gets your blood flowing, gets your blood pumping. I have a few mottos I can share with you now. My first one is be electric, and that means two different things. First, it means get out of your own way. Your brain knows what to do. It's neurons that fire, and anytime you worry or stress, you're actually hampering your own brain. So be electric means get out of your own way, let your neurons fire, let the electricity flow through your brain. It's going to work way better. Second, it also means smile. It means try to enjoy the moment. Try to be yourself. That's what be electric means to me. Another motto I have is every time you perform, you're just putting another beam in a train track. It doesn't really matter the quality of the beam as long as the train keeps moving forward. Each time I go on stage, I'm just extending the train. I'm getting a little closer to the destination. It's important to remember that everyone wants you to do your best. Everybody there wants you to succeed. They don't want you to bomb, because that hurts them just as much as it hurts you. And remember, it takes practice. It doesn't happen overnight, but you can learn to overcome your stage fright. It's very possible. If I can do it, you can do it. No problem. One very important thing about overcoming stage fright is don't use substances. Don't smoke weed and don't drink alcohol, because those are temporary fixes. It's like a shitty Band-Aid that you're throwing over top of your stage fright. You're never going to overcome your stage fright if you always need something, some chemical to help you. You need to be clear focused and clear minded. And the more times you can perform or present with a clear mind, the better you'll get. If you always need a crutch, you will always need a crutch. It's just that simple. But I have taken supplements. I've taken ashwagandha and I've taken kava. Those are just 2 anxiety supplements that can help with your anxiety if you really need it. Try not to use them. It's best to try to get over your anxiety naturally so that it's long term. If you use a supplement, temporarily fix it. So I try my best not to use those, especially when I'm performing. You need to get used to the stage. I am also not a doctor and I can't recommend you take anything. So don't take them. Consult a professional doctor before you take anything. Here are some long-term strategies that will take more work but will yield more reward. The first one is exercise. I know this is overstated. Everybody talks about exercise. Everybody knows they should be exercising more. But you don't have to do a lot to help your anxiety. You don't have to run a marathon to help your anxiety. You can just go for a walk around the block. You can look up and don't look at your phone and stare at the sky, at the clouds for a few seconds, You can do a few push-ups. Do 5 push-ups. Do your max amount of push-ups and you will feel better if you do that each day. This is something you have to do a couple times a week if you want your anxiety to go down. You need your body moving. Your body holds a lot of tension and you need to release it by exercise. We're supposed to be exercising and we don't get to do it as much as we used to. Next is, number 2 is healthy eating. Just try to eat a few more vegetables. Less chips, more vegetables. It's pretty much plain and simple. Your diet affects your mood. It affects your mental clarity. It affects your confidence. Your food affects your confidence. If you're eating shitty food, you're going to feel more depressed and anxious. Just try to cook yourself a healthy meal once a week. And when you go to the grocery store, avoid the snack aisles and you will feel better. These are hard things to do, but if you want to overcome your anxiety long term, this is important. Next is breathing. I know I already said breathing, but breathing is super important for your anxiety. And practicing your breathing when you're not performing is just as important as breathing right before performance. I would do Wim Hof daily, and it's very beneficial. I do it a couple times a day. You can also do just breathing through your nose. Breathe in for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds, and repeat that for 30 times. That's a super important breathing technique. It helps strengthen your sinus cavity and all the muscles in there. The more you use your nose, the stronger it gets. And the last one I'm going to talk about is journaling. I think journaling is super important, and it sounds like wishy-washy, and you might not know what I exactly mean by journaling. Basically, just write down everything you're anxious about. Just write down all the negative self-talk you have towards yourself and get it down on the paper, and it's super important and it's super effective. For some reason, you writing it down on a piece of paper puts all your anxiety into perspective, and you can grow and move past it by putting it down on a paper. It's sort of like if you could do it with a therapist. It's pretty much paper therapy, and you can do it anytime, anywhere. And I think you should try to write for 3 pages as best as you can. Thank you so much for watching. This has been all my strategies to help you overcome stage fright. These things have helped me, and I hope they will help you. And if you like this video, please subscribe and like and share this with a friend. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Bye.